Hi, this is Marvelyn Brown, and today we're going to take a look at a keyword research tool called Uber Suggest. So this is the tool that I use to do my keyword research, and it's very important for you to not only do keyword research when you're starting your business, you want to do it consistently when you're creating content. Each time you get ready to create content about a certain topic, you want to make sure that number one, people in your niche are actually looking for the term that you're going to be writing about. So there could be a really high volume, and we'll talk about, the things that you need to look for here in a moment, but there could be a really high volume term that you might be thinking about part of that term. You might use a certain phrase, and a difference of one word, or even the difference between using the singular version versus the plural version of a term can make a difference in the number of people or the results that you're going to get when you're creating your content. So you want to make sure that for whatever term you're trying to write about, you want the most people possible to be out there looking for that term. If you find that you're thinking about a term that no one is looking for, that means that when you create your content, you're not going to get the traffic that you might be looking for. So it's very important to do that keyword research. Now, Uber Suggest has a free version, and they also have a paid version. So I'm going to take you through the keyword research. Now, I have the paid version of Uber Suggest, and I want you to be able to see everything, or at least most of the things that they offer with this. And then you can determine whether this would be a tool that you might want to try out. Now, I'm not affiliated with Uber Suggest in any way. So, but I do think this is a really great tool because it has so many features that you can use to not only do keyword research, but it also has tools that you can use to write. These AI tools or artificial intelligence tools can get you started writing out your content so that you don't have to start from scratch. It can give you a lot of great ideas that you can use. You can also monitor your competition. So if there's a company out there that is doing some of the same stuff that you're doing, you can look at that company and see what, keywords they're using in their business. And of course, you don't want to go out and copy, word for word what someone is doing, but this could give you some ideas that you can use in your business as well. So we're going to look at the keyword research section, and we're going to do keyword overview. The other great thing about this tool is that, it gives you a lot of great ideas. So I'm going to put in, let's see, I'll just put in lead generation. And this is kind of a good exercise anyway, because you need to understand how to use broad terms. So you start out with a broad term. If you're not really sure what you want to write about, you just start out with a really broad term. It's going to give you a lot of search results. A lot of people are probably going to be looking for this broad term, lead generation. So we start here, we do our search, and look. Now, it gives you search volume. That means that 18,000 people a month are looking for the term lead generation. So that is a pretty popular term. It also gives you the trend. So this seems to trend well from January all the way through to September. And this is what happened last year. So this is actual data from last year. So from January, and really we'll just say February was when it was at its highest. So February to August of last year, a lot of people, 18,000, were looking for information on lead generation. And then it kind of dropped off. Now, even when it dropped off, there were still quite a few searches. And what I want you to notice is that there were only about 1,900 in the month of September. There were 1,900 mobile searches, but then when it came to desktop searches, there were 12,000 searches. So, your search volume can vary from mobile to desktop. So you want to look at that data as well. And you also want to look at Google Analytics. Your Google Analytics data is going to tell you whether most of the people that are in your audience, are they looking at your content on a desktop, or are they looking at your content on a mobile phone, or are they looking at your content on a tablet? So if most of your audience is looking at your content on a desktop, this would definitely be a good search volume for you to pursue in writing about. But you also want to narrow this down some. So we'll talk about that more in a moment. But this kind of stayed constant through the month of November, and then it started peaking again in the month of December. It went, back up to about 18,000. And so when you look at these numbers, this 18,000 number is giving you a combination of mobile volume as well as desktop volume. So you want to definitely just kind of hover over these numbers to see what the breakdown is. It looks like most people for this particular term are looking for desktop. Now, it will also give you the number of people who clicked on the results. So as you can see, a lot of people didn't click on any results. There were some people that did paid advertising, very little. And then there were some people who were able to rank based on, their organic SEO efforts. They give you the searcher's age range, and so you can look for that information here. And there again, you can go back to, I've got some people outside that are picking up garbage or whatever, so you may hear some noises. I'm just going to keep going through. But you can get your searcher's age range, and you can also correlate that to your data from Google Analytics that will also tell you the age range of the people in your audience, people who are visiting your site. So this is good information to have. And then you can also look at the keyword ideas. So lead generation for real estate, search volume is about 3,600. Lead generation companies, lead generation real estate, lead generation in real estate, lead generation is. So there are a lot of people out there that want to know what lead generation is. That might be a good topic to write about. Lead generation, what is? Lead generation as a service. So if you're someone who's thinking about, doing lead generation and helping business owners with, lead generation, that might be a good thing to write about as well. So let's just continue to scroll on down. Now, this is going to tell you where your competition is. So these are the competitors, 10 real estate cold calling scripts to increase lead generation. So this particular audience or article rather by pipedrive.com got an estimated 7,326 visits. So you can actually look at Pipedrive if you're interested in lead generation for real estate. You can look up Pipedrive and see what other, if you feel like that's a term that you want to write about, they seem to be doing pretty well in that area. So you can look up the competition and see what keywords they're ranking for or the keywords that they're using and get some ideas. So this is where you might want to, really venture out and see what your competition is doing. So now we're going to narrow this term down because we don't, there's so much competition for this term lead generation. So we're just going to say lead generation for beginners and see what comes up. So instead of just saying the broad term, we want to narrow it down. And that's kind of what we talked about when we talked about selecting a niche. We talked about, the broad term, that big umbrella term that captures everything. And then we want to make sure that we're narrowing down our big umbrella term to something more definite, something more focused, so that we can zero in on a particular audience. Now, when we go to lead generation for beginners, the search volume goes way down to 10. So that might not be a term that we want to, we might not want to look at that one. But when we do that, so let me just go back. So we narrowed our focus. We said lead generation for beginners. So what ends up happening is when you narrow down your focus, this tool will give you some additional ideas. So right here we have lead generation for business. That would be more in line with something that I might be searching for as a business owner. So I'm going to use that term, lead generation for business. I have a search volume, a monthly search volume of about 1,000. And that's not a bad number. So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to modify this. Instead of saying beginners, I'm going to say business. And we just want to verify that so search volume 1,000. We're going to look at the trend. And this is a pretty consistent trend. It looks like it peaked last year. It peaked in March. And it looks like the desktop searches were a little more than the mobile searches. So, this seems like something that I might want to write a blog post about. And it's something that would probably give me a lot more traction. And it's not something that's so competitive that I would never be able to rank for it. So you don't want to use these big umbrella terms. You want to definitely niche down, as they say, so that you can have a less competitive keyword, but you have one that has a manageable search volume. Okay, so that is the keyword overview. You've looked at keyword ideas. Now, there's also a visualization tool. So I want to just show you what this tool looks like. So we're just going to put in our keyword did not carry over. That's one of the things that that kind of, would be great if this tool would just have everything kind of carry over to the different areas. So these are some of the visualizations that you can use to write out some of your topics. So, and you really can't see this. This is, kind of, it's nice for visualization purposes, but for actually looking at it, you probably want to, let's just click on some of these and see. You have the questions, which there are 14 questions. And then you have prepositions, you have comparisons, you have suggestions. And see, when you do suggestions, look at that. Look at all the different suggestions. These are keyword suggestions that you can use to get related topics to your subject. So you can use this to actually get lots of ideas. So if say for instance, your blog is about lead generation, look at all these ideas that you could use. Now, when you look at the visualization, it's hard to read all of these, but this will be good to put on like a chart or, something that you could maybe even hang in your office to give you ideas so that you're not just sitting there, bumping your head against the wall, trying to figure out what you're going to write about. And then when you click on the data tab, then it breaks it down by alphabet. So these are the actual terms that were in that visualization. So look at this: lead generation for a company, lead generation for a business and its importance, lead generation as a business, lead generation at work, lead generation for a cleaning company, lead generation business course. You see all of these ideas that you could use, um, to write tons of great content related to lead generation. So there again, this might be something that you would print off and just kind of keep, handy in your notebook. And I think I don't know if we talked about this or not, but it's important for you to also have a way to organize your information. So you might want to purchase like a 3-ring binder and get you a hole punch. I'm kind of somebody who likes a little bit of both, having it on my cell phone and also having it in a notebook that I can grab when I get ready to write my content. I have a notebook where I have all my ideas. I have my, they're basically words that are used to their, descriptive words for different topics. And then I'm not sitting there, starting from scratch and trying to figure out the right words and all of that stuff. I kind of have everything in my notebook that I need to get the ball rolling. Because as you start growing your business, you're not going to have all day to sit around and think about topics and think about what to write and all of that. So this visualization tool is in my opinion, it's like a really great way for me to stay focused, number one, on my niche ideas, and then also to help me to know what to say, know what to write, know what to put in my marketing materials, things like that. Let's see, similar websites. So you definitely want to check out similar websites and content ideas. They have keyword lists, and this is a great keyword list right here. There is a backlink tool. Backlinks are what you really strive for when you have a blog or you have a platform. You want to have content that is so great that people actually link to you. So you can check out your backlinks. They also have a tool, as I said, you put in your keyword and it will bring up paragraphs. It'll actually write out some ideas for paragraphs that you can use on your blog posts or on any of your content that you might be creating. So, and then there's also a site audit tool. So that site audit tool is going to tell you things that you need to improve about your site, things that you can do to enhance your SEO. So it really walks you through like SEO opportunities, rank tracking, and then there's a Chrome extension. So if you're out doing research on Chrome, you can use this tool to look up data about whatever you are looking for. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off of this video. But I wanted to give you a look at Ubersuggest. And, if this is not the tool for you, no problem. But it's very important for you to find a tool that you can use to do your keyword research. Don't overlook keyword research, because that's really going to be the key to your success. So thanks for listening and watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great day.